Thank you so much for joining today. Let's start today's class by coming into a constructive rest down on the floor. Letting your feet be about hip distance or maybe even a little bit wider. And then letting the knees come to touch. You can allow your hands to rest on your body or take them out wide to a cactus or a T, or even let them rest by the sides with palms face up. And as you settle in here, if this isn't feeling comfortable, know that you can take any meditation position that feels happy for you today. We'll end up closing our eyes or allowing our gaze to simply soften and blur over. We'll start to become more intentional with our breathing, noticing where the air is coming in through the nose, following it down the windpipe, feeling the torso expanding in all directions, and then following the air back out. For these first couple of breaths, I don't want you to change or alter your breath in any way. I simply want you to breathe, noticing how that feels in your body today. Maybe noticing any sensations, any energies, any aches or pains, or even stories bouncing around. As we settle into this awareness of our internal landscape, we don't want to find judgment or negative emotions attached to any of this, but to simply offer them space to breathe. And then we'll let all that go as we simply come back into the breath itself. This time of year, it can be easy to become aware of our wants, our needs, and even our desires. We can become so fixated on a goal that we can miss the beauty that surrounds us in the here and now. One of my teachers once described gratitude as a having in the midst of not having. We recognize what's already beautiful in our lives when we offer it gratitude. And often when we rest in that gratitude for long enough, we begin to appreciate not only the joyful moments, but also the tough moments. The moments that break us down, after which we're able to get back up. The moments we were reminded of our courage and our resilience. Today, may you recognize what is already beautiful in your life. May you savor what makes you smile and what makes your heart feel full. Once again, we'll draw our awareness to our breath. We'll start to take a few rounds of straw breath. If at any point this breath leaves you feeling lightheaded or dizzy, release it, coming back to your natural breath. And simply visualize the breath in your mind. For straw breath, we want to breathe in and out through pursed lips, like we're sucking on a straw. And as we exhale, maybe even a little whistle comes out. We'll take this for just about 3, maybe 5 rounds of breath. At any point, switching back to our natural breath. If you haven't already, last snap one of your straw breaths. And then flow back to your natural breathing. And take this moment to simply notice any sensations that our opening meditation may have stirred up. Maybe some tingling or some relaxation. And as you're ready, we'll offer that gratitude to ourselves for something. Anything that we deserve gratitude for in this moment. From something that happened this week, today, or even just showing up here on your mat to connect with yourself and to reflect with gratitude today. We'll then take the deepest breath of our day so far. As I play a note on the singing bowl, listen to the sound and see if you can notice when you stop hearing the singing bowls ring. Then when you hear the ring no more, begin to gently wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter our eyes open. If we're in constructive rest and the knees are touching, go ahead and spread them apart. And we'll simply begin to roll through the back of the head, moving through the neck just a little bit. And then in our own time, in our own way, we'll find ourselves coming up to a seated position. Now you're always welcome to bring a block or a pillow under your hips here. As we come into a butterfly position, we'll bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide. And since this is our first one of the day, you might want to add just a couple of blocks for support under those knees. We'll lengthen up through the spine, and then we'll tie our hands either to the knees or maybe walking them down towards the ankles or the feet. Wherever our hands land, we want length from the entire length of our neck down our arms towards our hands. So as you hold here, we'll continue to pull our shoulders back, our spine straight, but then exhale to drop your chin down towards your chest as you begin to notice how that feels through the shoulders and the back of the neck. Your next exhale, see if you can grow heavier with your head, sinking a little bit further, but keeping the shoulders pulled back. Another deep exhale allows the head to drop even a little bit more. Now, if you're really enjoying this stretch, you're welcome to stay here or maybe start to make half circles with the chin, taking it from one shoulder towards the other. You could start to roll your right ear towards your right shoulder and then your left ear towards your left shoulder, taking full half circles. Or maybe taking full circles if that feels good through the neck. But making sure if you do, you go one direction, make sure to go the other direction for a few times as well. We'll take just about 3 more breaths here in any stillness, any movement through the neck. that you might want. Alrighty, and then start to come into stillness after your third breath, letting the spine come back up, lengthen through the neck. Great job. And then we're gonna walk both our hands over towards that right leg. And you can hold anywhere on that right leg or even under that right knee if that feels good for you. As we start to draw our left shoulder down towards our right knee, taking that right hand behind you, as we start to twist a little bit here, we're dipping the shoulder towards the knee so that we start to feel the ligaments that support the spine stretching along the left side of the body. Great job. Let's come back through center. And then we're going to take it over to the left side. Walking both hands over to the left leg, holding on anywhere that feels good as you start to drop your right shoulder towards your left knee. Taking left hand behind you as you stretch those ligaments of the back. Great job. Exhale to release, coming back through center. We'll use our hands to bring our knees together, taking any props out of our way that we don't need. And then let's come on down to our right side. Maybe bringing our strap along if you like to use a strap for poses and back bends. We're going to come on our right hip. We're going to stack our knees and ankles, and then we're going to bring our right elbow just under our shoulder. Another option would be to come down onto the side body and rest the hand and head together. So either of these options are great for you. That was a nice option, or maybe even bringing a pillow or bolster under the body to help give a little extra support. So wherever you're at on our Vishnu's couch is what this is called. We're going to start to capture our top ankle and foot. Now, maybe you're capturing it with your strap, or maybe you're reaching down and grabbing it with your hand. But we're going to take this into a back bend. So we're going to let that top knee come a little bit further back as we press our hand into either the strap or the foot or ankle and invite a stretch, a back bend through this upper side of the body. Great job. Exhale to release, stacking knees and feet once more. And then we're going to take it into a cross body back bend. So go ahead and let that top knee shift a little bit forward and bring your back foot back. And then just like we did before, we're going to capture that back foot or ankle with hand or maybe strap. And then start to press hand, strap, foot together, taking it into that cross back body, back bend. A little bit of a twist along with our back bend. Beautiful job. Let's exhale to release that side. And then we'll flip over to our left hip. Adding any props on this side that we might want. Stacking knees, stacking ankles. And when you're ready, maybe grabbing that top ankle, starting to press into the hand. Feel that stretch. Beautiful job. One more breath here on the top leg. Exhale to release, shifting top leg forward, bottom leg comes back, grabbing it with hand or strap, taking the back bend, twisting through the back body. Beautiful. Last breath here. We'll come back through our Vishnu's couch. Now, if we're going to stay on this side, and then we're going to take a clamshell. So the way this works is we're going to open our knee, keeping our feet together. And then as we exhale, we close our knees and open the feet, keeping the knees together. This is really an internal and external hip rotator here. We'll take this for a few breaths, noticing how this top hip is feeling and moving today. Beautiful job. All right, last time, ending with the feet and knees stacked. And then let's switch back over to the other side. Coming on to that opposite hip, coming back into your clamshells or your Vishnu's couch. And then as you're ready, inhale to lift the knee, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift the foot, exhale to lower. Take it at your own pace. Beautiful job. Last time, come back through center. And then from here, we're going to bring our right hand under our shoulder. And we're going to come up into a grounded side plank on this side, letting this knee come down to the ground. You're welcome to add some cushioning here if you'd like. And then sending the top leg long and straight along the floor. As we inhale, we're going to start to stack wrist and shoulders, bringing them into a straight line here. Really feel that length through the arms as you open up through your torso. And then let's take that top hand, circle it alongside the ear, stretching fingertips and toes as far away from each other as you possibly can. Feel your breath here. All right, with our next inhale, go ahead and bring that hand back up to stacked, wrist and shoulders. And then we're going to take our top hand, we're going to thread the needle as we bring it down across our body, pulling it between our arm and our leg back towards the wall behind us and twisting through the torso. And then inhale to stack it back up. Take this at your pace. Beautiful job. Last one, inhale to reach up. Exhale, rainbow arc one last time, but pull your hips as high as you can to really feel the lengthening through the rib cage inside. And then with our inhale or exhale, we're going to circle that top hand down and then just allow your hips to come down to the ground in a seat. We'll be in a mermaid sit or a Z sit, having our knees in one direction and our heels in the opposite direction, but keeping that same hand just under our hip here. With our next inhale, we're going to lift our hips off the floor, rising onto our knee, and then rainbow arc the top arm over. And then as you exhale, sink it back down. You're always welcome to bring a prop under your hand for just a little bit more support if you'd like. And we'll take this for a few rounds of these hip raises, or mermaid hip raises. You can go just as fast or as slow as you'd like. Last time. All right, go ahead and come back down. And then we'll start to take those same movements on the other side. So we flip back to the second side as we come into our side plank variation. Bending bottom knee, sending top leg out long. Bringing bottom arm under the shoulder. And then stacking wrist and shoulders in a straight line as you send the top leg out long. Take a moment to build your foundation. Inhale, circle top arm overhead. Inhale to stack wrist and shoulders. Exhale, thread your top arm through that space in between your hand and legs. Beautiful job. Last time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lengthen. Really pull that top hip as high towards the sky as you can. Exhale to release, dropping your hips, coming into that Z sit or mermaid sit. And then keeping that hand underneath the shoulder or on a prop under the shoulder. We inhale to rise up onto the hips and lift the arm overhead. Exhaling to lower, inhaling to reach up. Beautiful job. Last time. Exhale to release. And we'll take this last moment to come onto our backs. Now that we've kind of warmed up the entire body, I want us to spend just a moment on our core. And the best way for us to do that today will be to come down onto our backs. And we're going to work with some yogi bicycles. So for our yogi bicycles, we keep our spine straight from the top of our head to our hips. You can start with your feet on the floor in a constructive rest and then lift from there. Or if you want, you can inhale, bringing knees to a bent knee position. We'll then circle our arms, letting our hands rest behind our head, fingers interlaced and elbows wide. And we're going to take our left elbow over towards our right knee and then bring it back. And then we'll take our right elbow towards our left knee and over towards, come back. Now, if you'd like to add a little lower body movement, if your legs are lifted, you could straighten the opposite leg as you twist. And again, maybe you're starting with the knees on the ground or the feet on the ground and you're lifting up along with your crunch. We're going to take it really slow. Can be a lot harder on the body, a lot more strength building to take it slow. Really concentrate on the muscles of your core, engaging them fully through the movement so that they can lift and curl. Beautiful job. Last time on each side. Go ahead and balance yourself out. And then drop the feet into constructive rest and roll out through a windshield wiper. And then in your own time, in your own way, we'll make it up to a standing position in our mountain pose. Take a moment in your mountain to simply notice the energy that you've created through your warm-up today. Feel your feet pressing firmly into your surface, your spine rising, the top of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And then with our next inhale, let's reach the hands up and overhead, letting them float up. And then we'll drop our right hand to our right hip as we lean over to the right. Come back through center. We exhale, we drop our left hand to our left hip as we lean to the left. Inhale to come back through center. And with our exhale, we're going to hinge into a forward fold, reaching down towards our prop of the floor or our legs. We'll take just a moment here with bent knees to find a little bit of movement. Maybe you sway from side to side or grab opposite elbows. Maybe you lift heels. Maybe you shake your head, yes, no, maybe so. And then eventually settle into your stillness. We'll press into our hands to halfway lift. And then with our exhale, we'll hinge back into that forward fold. We'll bend the knees so deeply the hips come down towards the heels, and then we'll take a slow roll, coming all the way back up to our tall mountain. And then we're going to bring our right hand to our right hip. We're going to actively push that left hip away from us as we lean over to the right. So taking it just a little bit deeper into that dancer stretch. Inhale back through center. Left hand on left hip, right hip goes out to the right as you lean over to the left. Great job. Inhale to come back through center, and with an exhale, let's bring it down through a prayer into our mountain pose. All righty. From our mountain pose, let's step the right foot back as we come into a warrior two. We'll bend through both knees. We'll let the toes come out to the side. Our hips are open to the side, and then we'll send our arms out long and wide. Feel that length and extension. And then with our next exhale, we're going to take our back hand to our hip or even down the back leg and lift that front hand up as we come into a reverse warrior with a bent front knee. Inhale to come back through your warrior two. On our exhale, our front hand or elbow comes to a knee or maybe to a prop as we start to hinge forward. And then let's take that back arm into some circles as we explore the shoulder and the movement of the shoulder today. And then go ahead and reverse those circles. Inhale to come back up to warrior two. We'll straighten that front leg, reverse our warrior one more time on this side. And then with our exhale, we'll bring that back leg forward. Coming into mountain pose. All righty, let's go ahead and step the left foot back or the opposite foot back. As we sink into that warrior two. Take your time, build your foundation. Squeeze those thigh muscles together. You're doing a wonderful job. Inhale, reverse your warrior with a straight or bent front knee. Come back through your warrior two. Exhale, side angle of your choice. We're going to hang out here, so make sure it's feeling strong. And then when you're ready, start to take those shoulder circles with that top arm. And then reverse it. Inhale to come to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, reverse your warrior. Exhale to come back through center into your mountain pose. Beautiful job. Now from here, we're going to come into a downward dog. You want to use a piece of furniture or your wall, you're more than welcome to do that. If you like to take your downward dog on the floor, you're also welcome to do that. Wherever we're at, we want to take our hands a little wider than we normally would, and then take our feet a little wider than we normally would, and then sink into our downward dog. Take a few minutes to wiggle, shift your weight, pedal the legs, Take any movement you want here. Notice if it feels different than when we normally take a downward dog with our feet a little closer together, our hands a little closer together. And then eventually settle into a little bit of stillness. And then we'll take 3 big breaths, maybe even straw breaths, so they have a little whistle on the exhale. Beautiful job. Now, if you're taking a standing downward dog, go ahead and walk your feet a little closer to your hands. So you're in more of a halfway lift position with your hands resting on the surface. And if you took your downward dog from the floor, we'll simply drop the hands to the knees, or sorry, the knees to the floor and come into a tabletop. So wherever we're at, we're making a 90-ish degree bend from our knees to our hips. And then let's take our right arm. We're going to take it out to the side, twist it behind us even. And then with an exhale, we're going to thread the needle, pulling the fingertips towards the wall behind us. And take this at your own pace. Inhaling to open, exhaling to twist. Beautiful job. Last one where no matter where you're at, hand comes down under the shoulders. And then let's take this on the other side. Left arm reaches out and back. Exhale, thread the knee. Inhale out and back. Exhale, thread the needle, pulling those fingertips as far as you can. Beautiful. All right, last time on this side. Inhale to open up. Exhale to plant the left palm. And then we'll look down at our feet and begin to walk ourselves into a forward fold. So if you're in the tabletop, you're coming up to your forward fold. And if you are on the wall, you're coming down to your forward fold. Always welcome to have that prop there as well. Beautiful job. With our inhale, we're going to halfway lift. With our exhale, we're going to hinge and fold. Next inhale, we root to rise, tall mountain. And then let's take our left foot back just about a foot behind our right foot and come up onto the ball of the foot and lift the heel. We're then going to take our right hand down to our right hip. We're going to come back into those dancer stretches, letting our left hip really pull over towards the left side of the room. Great job. Inhale to come back through center. Stepping left foot in, right foot back. Left hand down as we hinge to the left. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale to bring it down through your prayer to your mountain. You've done a really good job of getting everything nice and warmed up. So now we're going to take a balance challenge. As always, you're welcome to come a little closer to a wall for support or take the stretch in the middle of your space. And just like those laying back bends, you may choose to invite your strap along for this movement, having it close by. So we'll begin to shift our weight over to one foot and then lift the knee of the other foot, bending it up towards hip height, and then start to draw your heel back towards your hip. And just like before, if you can grab shirt with your hand, you're welcome to do that. Or maybe you're grabbing that strap, drawing the hip as close to your heel, or sorry, drawing your heel as close to your hip as is available. Drawing your thigh muscle, your knee down towards the mat or even a little bit behind you, if that feels good. And then you can stay here, or maybe start to find a little bit of a hinge through the torso, continuing to press the hand and the foot and the strap together. You can keep your opposite hand on your hip. You can keep it on a prop for support, or you could send it out long in front of you. Beautiful job. No matter where you're at, start to come back up to a straight spine and then release that foot. Now take a moment, maybe roll out the ankles, reset in your space, and then when you're ready, we'll switch to the other side, coming onto the other foot, lifting that knee up, and then when we're ready, taking the foot behind you and starting to hug that heel in towards your hip. Again, the knee can be pointed towards the ground or maybe a little bit behind you, and you're always welcome to stay here. There's no need to add that hinge in if you're not feeling it in this side, at this moment, in this very moment. All right. But if you're choosing to take it, start to find a hinge, pressing hand and foot into each other, and maybe finding a beautiful place for that opposite hand. Beyond your hip, the wall, or sending it out long. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale to release, foot to the floor. And again, feel free to take any movement, roll out your ankles or anything that you might want there after all that. Alrighty, from our mountain pose, we'll take the legs out really wide here into a 5-pointed star. And then as we inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. With an exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips, taking the arms out wide. We're going to pause at halfway. Stay there for just a moment. Beautiful job. Exhale to release your hands down towards a block or the floor. We'll inhale to halfway lift. Placing left hand under the face, we'll begin to take the right hand out to the side and up, twisting our wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to drop that hand, replacing it with the other one. And then we'll twist in the other direction. Beautiful. With our exhale, we'll bring both hands to center. We'll inhale to pull ourselves up to halfway lift, arms at a T. And then as we root to rise, we'll reach into 5-pointed star. Beautiful job. Exhale to drop the hands and step the legs in. Beautiful job. All righty. From here, we're going to come down back into a seat on the floor or on a prop. And we're going to start with our cool down practice with a frog seat. So we're going to take the feet wider than hip distance, or as wide as feels good. You can keep those feet on the floor, or it might feel good to walk the heels a little bit forward, leaving heels on the floor, lifting toes back towards your shins. Now you can keep your hands maybe at a prayer at heart center. You can bring them back behind you to a prop to help support you. Really feel that flex through the shins and calves, if you have those toes lifted. Beautiful job. All righty. From here, we're going to come into a tabletop position as a transition. Taking the prop out of underneath of you. And then take the knees wide. Walk the hands forward and sink the forehead down in either a wide-legged child's pose or a puppy pose. Allow your forehead to sink towards the floor. And if it doesn't make contact, maybe bring a prop like your block or your pillow under your forehead so that your forehead is making contact with a surface. And then with your breath, gently roll your forehead along the prop or the floor, giving yourself a gentle massage through the forehead. Beautiful. Inhale to push back through your tabletop. And then from there, we'll come over onto our backs, getting there in whatever way feels good for you today. We're gonna end class similar to where we started class, with our feet in a constructive rest and our hands down by our hips. As we inhale, we're going to take a slow roll of the hips up, taking a bridge pose. We're going to squeeze the glutes here, engage through our core. We're going to hold this for just another 5, 4. See if each letter you can, or each number you can lift and squeeze a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. And then with a slow, steady exhale, roll back down. Once the hips arrive, you can take a gentle windshield wiper of the knees. Beautiful job. Now, start to lift those knees and legs into a tabletop position with that 90-degree bend into it. And we're going to take the left leg and we're going to cross it over the right leg. You can cross at the ankles, the shins, or even the knees if it's available in the shoelace pose. And you can hold on to your ankles, your feet, your thighs, or even grab that strap and round it around wherever you'd like to. We're getting a stretch on that outer hip area through the thigh muscles, maybe even a little bit. We'll exhale to uncross and recross in the opposite direction, finding our shoelace pose once more. Really keep your chin tucked to lengthen through the back of the neck, both shoulders pressing against the mat as much as available. Beautiful job. Exhale to release. Go ahead and bring the feet to constructive rest. And then we're going to let the knees fall over towards the right side. Now you're welcome to keep them staggered or stacked. You can add your prop in between the knees or maybe hook the bottom foot over the top knee in a bind. We're going to send our arms out long. In some fashion, we're going to let our shoulders relax towards the mat. We'll come into a lengthened inhale and an extended exhale, starting to slow our breath really down, down, down. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead and bring our knees through center, our gaze through center, and then take it over to the other side. Setting up either exactly the same or maybe a little bit different here. We'll sink back into that breath. Maybe we'll even allow our eyes to close. And then with an inhale, come back through center. We'll find one last butterfly pose of our choice. So the options could be to stay in the position you're at, let the knees open wide and the feet come together, but the feet to stay on the floor. You could also lift the feet similar to that shoelace pose, but draw the feet in towards the torso and the knees out wide. You can also hold your feet with a strap or hold anywhere along the legs. So wherever you're at in this butterfly pose, see if you could take about 3 to 5 really slow, long, deep breaths, allowing time and gravity to give this inner hips one final opening as we relax here. You are doing a wonderful job today. Now we come to our final choice of our class today. You can stay in your butterfly position, or you can start to come out of it, letting your hands come down by your thighs, pushing your knees together, and then coming into a final resting pose of your choice. Constructive rest is always a great option, as is a corpse pose, as is legs up the wall. But no matter where you're coming to your final meditation, you're using your props in whatever way feels supportive. Maybe you're adding socks or sweaters, or doing anything so that you can start to come into a space that feels like stillness for you today. As we settle in here, we'll begin to take a deep, full breath in, holding it at the top, and then take in one more sip of air. Taking your time as you exhale slowly to feel yourself start to transition inward. Maybe you chose to close your eyes, or maybe you simply softening your gaze. But either way, allow your eyelids to grow heavier. Begin to relax the space between your brows and the corners of your eyes. Allow your jaw to release and your tongue to fall from the top of your mouth as you begin to feel your entire body soften into complete relaxation as your breathing becomes effortless and smooth. As the year comes to a close, it's nice to look back and reflect on all the things that have brought us joy this year. We'll begin by taking a deep breath. We'll bring our attention to our breath and to our heart space. See if you can start to generate a feeling of gratitude or love or appreciation or simple caring. And now bring your awareness to some things in your life that you are thankful for. When we show and tell others how thankful we are, our life may begin to overflow with even more treasures. Whether big or small, you can show gratitude with words, a smile, writing a card, a hug, or simply saying a heartfelt thank you. You want more friends? Start by being thankful for the friends you've already have. If you want new things, start with being grateful for the things you currently have. If you want to be better at something, be thankful for how much you have already learned. You can start to say thank you for absolutely everything. Thank you for clean water to drink, for fresh air outside. Thank you for the sweetly singing birds in a springtime tree. Thank you for my computer to help me Zoom yoga. And when you come from a place of gratitude, you know you have enough because you are giving thanks with love. But being thankful is also about accepting wonderful gifts as they come our way. The universe wants to shower you with gifts, and you receive these gifts when you notice them and saying thank you when they arrive. Maybe it's the friend who always includes you, or the grocery store clerk who is so kind when you're in. Maybe it's the family member who always reaches out to you. Do you notice these gifts when they show up for you? We can learn to be more thankful for the people in our lives. We can be more grateful for the things in our lives. We can even be more thankful for the places in our lives. Now, I'll invite you to explore your life over the last year, seeking and expressing thanks for the places, the people, and the things that have brought you joy. And I'll be back in just a moment as I'm giving thanks for the people, places, and things in my life this year as well. Beautiful job today. Begin to imagine those people, places, and things that you're grateful for fading from your memory. As you start to come back into this space that you're currently in, maybe even allowing yourself to remember the color of the shirt that you wore today. As we gradually return to the present moment, we begin to notice our actual surroundings and where we are right now. We'll begin to take the deepest breath of our day so far. As we start to become reoriented, we'll move our fingers and toes, arms and legs, allowing the muscles to begin to wake up. Maybe you begin to sit quietly for a moment with your eyes either opened or closed as you return to full wakefulness. And when you are completely awake and alert, we can return to our day filled with energy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a safe New Year's Eve. Thank you so much. The spirit in me recognizes the spirit in you. Thank you.